Hi TikTok, this is my first ever video. My name is Miglena Racheva and I'm an astrologer in Astrology Consult. This is my own brand and company. I'm certified astrologer since 2019 and have been consulting clients and providing predictions for them since 2018. The reason I'm doing these videos is to try and help everybody who is interested into astrology to navigate throughout the ocean of books and knowledge that we have out today. So these are my astrology book review series, and what I want to start with is, of course, Astrology for Dummies. So don't be puzzled from these letters. This is just Cyrillic. I'm from Sofia, Bulgaria, and I prefer my books in astrology to be in Bulgarian. But that's enough about me. I already said too much. Let's dig into the book. So how I'm going to do this, I'm going to present very briefly who is the author, when the book was published, and what I find interesting or not so much interesting into the book. But before that, very important, I want to say this is truly a beginner's book. Okay, guys, so if you're a beginner and you're looking for a good place to start that will help you understand what is the technology behind astrology predictions and claims about people and future events, start here. All right, this is an excellent place to start. I'll now be doing another series of videos dedicated to books for beginners, for intermediate, and for the advanced. Now, the book Astrology for Dummies, my version of the book, and it says here it's been published in 2008, although I suspect it's far older. But okay, if it says 2008, let's trust them, right? The author of the book is Raya Orion. Yes, like the constellation. She's a lady. The knowledge about her on the internet is very limited. Just says that she's been an astrologer since 1973. Okay, so it's been a long time. And also that she has been contributing as an astrologer for New Woman magazine since 1996. I couldn't find any of her of her articles online. So if you do, please post links in the comments. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the rating of the book in Goodreads and Amazon. I'm not paid to do this, guys, okay? So I'm not going to say any of these books. That's not the reason why I'm here. But I feel that I should let you know what other readers think about the book. And in Goodreads, in the English version, not the French, not the Italian, etc., it has a rating of nearly 4 stars. 4 is good, right? Out of more than 500 people who have read the book. And in Amazon, it has 4.5 stars out of 355 reviews. Again, very, very impressive. So this gives you a hint about the content of the book. Now, there are two sides of this book. First, it's a traditional astrology cookbook full of cliches and very brief explanations. However, the cliches are there because they work. And who is to say that these cliches is not what astrology today is based on, right? We have to start from somewhere. The book itself, it's a brief guide into astrology. So it lacks depth into explanation about different positions. Very, very short reads are listed on the charts. And yes, they are different charts posted here and reviewed. Let me quickly find one. Okay, so it looks like this. So you get yourself used to the look of the astrological wheel and familiar of how things are graphically expressed. So about the cliches and the lack of depth. On the other hand, if you're a completely newbie and starting into astrology, this book is a very good starting point. Just keep in mind that not everything said about the signs, the planets, and the positions is undeniably the truth. Okay, so this is a very important thing we have to think a little bit. However, from this book, if you only have this book, and that's fine, and you start with it, it offers a quick and dirty insight on your colleagues, lovers, teammates, boss, just a brief, short explanation of who they are, just a little bit. It contains two different perspectives on the sun signs. And the first one is in chapter 5 in my version. There is basic information about the sun sign in telegraphic order, traditional start, end of the sign by dates, but this needs to be changed because it swifts. Good side, bad side, and relationship and work. So this is what you will find about the sun sign in chapter 5. It has short tips about the sun, a list of classical representatives of the relevant sign. Okay, these are people that you could actually recognize. Chapter 15, again in my version of the book, we find a quick guide to love and compatibility between the signs. You'll find short guide how different sun signs interact in loving relationship. Now, we need to be cautious about this because we don't know how two people interact truly when it comes to love and relationship only based on their sun sign. However, if you don't allow yourself to be misled and completely exhausting the truth only by what is written, then go ahead, have a sneaky peek. I think it's interesting when we talk about love and relationship. Astrology has no limit, so start with this one. I was impressed by chapter 14, where we find explanation of the Jones figures, guys. Okay, so this is a good find. Rarely nowadays astrologers explain in their books the Jones figures, so this is very valuable, especially if you're an astrologer and you want to have a very quick reference what was what. Then we move on in chapter 12. It talks a little bit about the planet in the houses. Overall, the book is not focused on the houses. So this was a nice surprise. Good to have read as well, especially if you're a newbie, as we said in the beginning. And what the book does, it lists all the planets into the different houses and provides a short guide how to read them, what it means, and it even talks about the empty houses. Now, another good find in the book is a list of the planets in different signs, which we don't find always in the same book. All of this information you find in the same book, so it has to be brief, otherwise the book will never end, right? At least a must read for every person interested in astrology, and also you can get used to how it's the same planet but it changes signs, so you have to know what it means and how the sign influences the planet, even just a little bit. Now, to give justice to the author, she didn't omit it, Chiron. And this is again a rare find. There are books dedicated to Chiron, but to have a short guide on what Chiron means, how it works, and what represents a different sign, it's top. As I like to say, maybe you don't have this expression in your country, but here we do. Now, what is really cool about the book, in chapter 19, talks about the 10 talents you can spot just by the sun sign, which is interesting and amusing. And finally, chapter 20, 10 plus 1 ways to use astrology for guidance. This was excellent read, a very good reminder on when and how we can use astrology. It lists events like from wedding to a surgery. I would not trust, dating yourself a surgery date based on the book. But For everything else, you're just reminded why you should use professional astrologers when you need them. And with this, I have to say there are a number of funny illustrations in the book. I find them refreshing. And finally, just a warning. This book was published a long time ago. It was written probably longer time ago. So it talks about a machine called Macintosh. Don't worry about it. Don't go out looking for a machine called Macintosh. Probably you will not find. There are numbers of good sites where you can check your astrology positions, and I'll make a video about it. So this was my first video for you guys. Please let me know if you enjoyed it, if you find it useful. If it's too long, too short, make fun of my accent, I'm fine with that. Whatever you feel like you want to share with me, please go ahead, and I'll be having good fun and good time reading your comments. Talk to you for the next book.